Welcome back everyone. Hi, if you're new, I'm Tori, and today we are going to get into a quick reading update. I'm going to talk about a recent fantasy book that I finished, which I really enjoyed. It's a new release that came out in April. And then we're also going to chat about some current reads that I am circling through right now. And then to end the video, we're going to talk about some books that I have on the horizon for the rest of May. And I'm going to try to keep the video as structured as possible because I just want to read all the books. I feel like I just have so many in my head right now that I'm like, oh, I should pick up this or I should pick up that. The weather's starting to change a little bit and I'm definitely a mood reader. So I'm just kind of feeling like a lot of different things right now. Like on the one hand, I really want to finish out a particular series, but I also want to continue on with series. I want to start new ones. I want to get into like more fun, adventurous, like summer reads. It's a lot going on. We have a lot to chat about. I hope you guys have been reading some good things recently, and I hope you have a good May TBR lined up for the rest of the month. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. First up, to kick things off, let's chat about The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This was my recent fantasy read and I really enjoyed this. This is a new release that just came out like mid-April, and I would put it like in the high fantasy, epic fantasy category. This is the first book in a brand new trilogy. It's called The Eternal Path, and I'm just excited for book 2 now. I feel like we got a really good foundation with our characters and some great world building in this. It is a fantasy mystery, and just the way that the story is structured and the way that mysteries kind of unfold over the course of the book, I just found to be really exciting, very engaging, and it just left me wanting more. So this was a lot of fun. I think if you enjoy something like Empire of the Wolf, or more specifically like Justice of Kings and that mystery that we got at the heart of book 1, if you like that, you'll definitely enjoy this. But at the same time, if you like kind of the tone of maybe a Silver Blood Promise by James Logan, I think you'll also find a lot to enjoy here. The story definitely is dark and has a lot of dark elements to it, but kind of like what we see in the Silver Blood Promise. Not to say that the stories themselves are the same at all, because they're not, but like tone-wise, there's always some kind of like misadventure or humor or banter or something like that to kind of break up a lot of the tension and grimness that happens in Silver Blood Promise. And we get a lot of that as well in The Raven Scholar. But just in terms of like the setup and the world in this, it's a world in which every like 24 years or so, the emperor has to step aside and choose a new emperor to take the throne. And essentially how that works is there's different monasteries throughout this world, and they will elect one person to represent them in different trials that involve like strength, strategy, just all kind of stuff. And whoever's left standing at the end will eventually take the throne. And so we get that as the basic setup, but the story really kicks off when one of the contenders is murdered, and it becomes up to our main character, Nima Craw, who is a high scholar, on behalf of the emperor to figure out, who killed this contender and why. And the story spirals from there, and the mystery just unfolds in a lot of different directions. We get a lot of history and world building as the mystery starts unraveling, and a lot of it is also due to something big that happens at the very beginning of this book as well. So that keeps tying into the story as the book goes on, and I really enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. I think we got a lot of good history and world building so far in this first book, but I do feel like we're just kind of scratching the surface. So I do want to see where this all goes in the second book, and it did leave me really excited for the sequel when it eventually comes out. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I love our main character Nima. She is so intelligent, but she's really bad with like people and interacting and holding conversations. She's always like inserting these really awkward facts at the wrong time, and they come off funny, but she's like dead serious. I just love that about her. I love the relationship that she has with another character in this book, and their banter, dialogue, and just how well they know each other. We get some really sassy ravens in this as well that are just so dramatic. It's really good. Like I said, it's a dark story overall with some really dark things happening, murder at the heart of it, but at the same time, there's a lot of bright spots to kind of alleviate a lot of the grimness that we get over the course of the book. So it doesn't feel like just all bleak and doom and gloom and all of that. So yeah, great characters, great world, really fascinating story. I think another important thing to note is that I am not a huge fan of trials, competitions, games, all of that in like fantasy and sci-fi books. It's not that I like completely dislike it, but I'm just so kind of exhausted by it at this point. But I really like the way that Antonia Hodgson handles it throughout the Raven Scholar because she does find ways to keep the trials feeling fresh. There's always that mystery component that's on top of the trials, as well as different things start coming out about our characters and how they're connected during the trial. So I love that aspect of it. And I do think she found a really great way to keep a trope that could feel a bit tired, keep it feeling fresh. So really enjoyed the Raven Scholar. It definitely deserves to be on your TBR, and you'll see this from me again in a few weeks or so. Let's get into some of my current reads. So I already kind of briefly in another video talked about that I'm reading The Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. I'm buddy reading this with Ty from Ty's Book Corner. I'm enjoying this, but I haven't made any progress in it since the last time I spoke about it, just because I actually don't know why, but I've just kind of been in the same spot. Other things have been taking priority. Finishing the Raven Scholar definitely took priority because that book was really chunky. So I wanted to get that off the TBR and then go back into the Republic of Thieves. But now I think Kingdoms of Death is going to take priority over Republic of Thieves. Still, this is going well so far. I'm enjoying this so much more than the second book, Red Seas Under Red Skies. We have a character in this who we've been hearing about for the last 2 books, and she's finally made her appearance, and I really like her, and it was worth the wait. So more to come with this. It's been a good time, but it's still just a little slow going for me. I'm going to keep chipping away at this. Definitely over the course of the weekend, I'm going to try to make a little bit more progress in it. I don't understand why this book is almost 700 pages. I have no comment, but I'm going to keep pushing away at it, like I said, and this will definitely be in my May wrap up at the end of the month. So we'll see how Locke and Jean get themselves out of this current situation. Let's get to the showstopper here. I am finally back into the Sun Eater series. I'm currently reading Kingdoms of Death. I feel like this has kind of been like touch and go a little bit. I've read a chapter here, a chapter there, while trying to juggle the Raven Scholar and a couple of other reads before the Raven Scholar. But now that I'm done with Raven Scholar, I am all in on getting back into Sun Eater and all in on Kingdoms of Death. So I mentioned in my last video that I was going to read Raven Scholar, Republic of Thieves, and Kingdoms of Death in that order. But now I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to read Kingdoms of Death and prioritize this over the Third Gentleman Bastards book, just because I have missed this world. I've missed Hadrian, and getting back into this, I'm on chapter 8 at this point. So still not like a ton of progress, but a little bit more than before. I've just missed it. I've really missed it, and I think just kind of getting back into it has made me realize that no, this needs to be the priority. The first couple of chapters in this were really intense, really dark. So again, it just feels good to be back with the series that you know and love, with characters that you know and love. So this is going to be my focus as we head into the weekend and for the, few days following this weekend. I'm loving it so far. Again, this is book 4 in the series, and my Sun Eater journey has just been so strong up until this point. I wrapped up the end of 2024 with the 3rd book, Demon in White. But even prior to that, I was all in on Sun Eater. I had read the 3 main books in the series, also incorporating the 2 novellas, the short story collection, well, the first short story collection rather, and I just wanted to put the series on pause at the end of 2024 just to give myself time to focus on other series, other books that I wanted to get off the TBR before the end of the year. So now we're back, quarter 2 of 2025, and this is going just as strong as I thought it would be. It feels good to be hearing Hadrian's narration again, and it's good. I mean, the story somehow is still so good. It's still expanding. We are in a different arm of the galaxy right now. I'm also really used to these huge time jumps that we get in the Sun Eater series, so there's been a lot of time that's passed between the huge events that happened at the end of Demon in White to where we are now, and just the planet that Hadrian has been on for many years at this point. So kind of getting caught up with that. I know it's going to be a great read, and more to come with this. I'm going to keep you guys updated as we continue to push through our Sun Eater journey together. And then from there, the next priority is going to be the 2nd book in the Licanius trilogy, which is An Echo of Things to Come. So I got my next 3 books pretty well laid out, I think. I just want to keep going with this series. I just talked about in my previous video how much I enjoyed book 1, The Shadow of What Was Lost. Really impressed by it. I have said several times over the last year that I just loved The Will of the Many so much by James Islington. While I wait for the 2nd book, The Strength of the Few, I just want more of his writing. I want more of his worlds, his stories. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are in that same mindset. And so I think you're going to see a big rise in people picking up the Licanius trilogy this year as we wait for the sequel to The Will of the Many. And I can confidently say that Islington, even in his earliest works, He still loves his puzzles, his twists, his turns, and I just really admire the way he's able to take just traditional tropes and make them feel fresh with a really interesting and engaging story structure and interesting characters. Like I said, An Echo of Things to Come is definitely the priority after those 2 books, Kingdoms of Death, Republic of Thieves. But after that, I'm just like, what do I do? Because I feel like I'm starting to get into like my summer mood reading where I just want things that are a little bit more, maybe a little bit shorter. Because first of all, I feel like I've been pounding 600, 700 page books just back to back to back for the last couple of months now. So I'm getting into the place now where we're getting into summer where I'm like, I want something a little bit shorter. I want something a little bit faster, a little bit more adventurous, maybe like has a summer setting. But at the same time, I'm like, just finish out Lycanius. An Echo of Things to Come, I'm sure it's going to be a great read. After that, I just need to pick up The Light of All That Falls, finish it, have a great time. Boom, Lycanius is off the 2025 TBR. And I already know immediately after I finish Kingdoms of Death, I'm gonna want to pick up Ashes of Man. So that's one thing. The Light of All That Falls is another. But again, I want my like fun summer kind of like fantasy sci-fi books. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna follow my mood. It could really go in a lot of different directions, but we'll see. I have like in my head what I want to do for the next few weeks or so, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I told you it was going to be a little chaotic, so I got a lot of things to sort through over here, but I will definitely figure it out. But for the time being, that's kind of like the priority TBR. Kingdoms of Death, Republic of Thieves, and we'll get into An Echo of Things to Come, and we'll take it from there together. So that is it for me, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments what you're currently reading, what's on the horizon for you, especially as we start to get into the summer months. What's on your summer TBR? I want to hear about it, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care.